Hey you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Goddess of Love and Truth Reacts. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an upload. Make sure you also like and share the video so others are able to see the video as well. For my returning subscribers and viewers, thank you for returning. And everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, everybody, make sure you're subscribed, liking, and sharing the video. That way we get in the algorithm with YouTube and remain in the algorithm. Welcome again back to my channel. I know I said welcome, welcome, welcome so many times because you guys are welcome. I thank you for coming and listening and joining in and supporting the channel. So, as you can see on my screen, this is the YSL trial that's going on. That is the new judge there. So I said I wasn't gonna cover anything on this trial because it's too much going on. It's too long. It's so much going on. It's just too much. Like it is too much. But I wanted to come and upload this because this right here. So right now, if you guys don't know, the trial is on hold because the former judge, which was Judge Glanville, he held an ex parte meeting, a secret ex parte meeting with these two prosecuting attorney, the lady in the green and the lady in the pink. I believe their name is D.A. Hilton and Love. I think Love is the one in the green and Hilton is the one in the pink, or vice versa. Either way, I don't know. But anywho, he had a secret meeting with them and with Woody and his attorney, Kayla Bumpers. Well, Kayla was actually just stepping in for his attorney. I forgot what his attorney name was. It was a man, but he had already said he was going to be out that day. I believe it was on June 10th, and asked her if she could step in. Well, supposedly, Woody, which is Kenneth Copeland, he wasn't supposed to have been testifying. He said that he was going to plead the fifth. Well, they came and they gave him immunity without him asking, without his attorneys asking, and telling him that he can't plead the fifth because they gave him immunity. And he was saying, well, I didn't ask for immunity. And Judge Glanville would say, well, you don't have to ask for it. If they give it to you, then hey, it is what it is. So they threatened to lock him up, and they did lock him up. They locked him up that Friday because they put him on the stand that Friday to testify, but he pled the fifth, and Judge Glanville told him that if he didn't testify, he was going to lock him up. So they did just that. So then back to June 10th, they had the secret ex parte meeting, and basically they threatened him, told him, look, if you don't testify, we're going to lock you up, not just for this trial, you're going to be in jail until all other defendants are prosecuted. So right now, I believe they have like 5 or 6 defendants in there, and then they have some more. I'm not sure how many they have. Don't quote me on that. So because again, I kept up with some of it, but not like all of it. It's just too much to be keeping up with. I don't have enough time in my day to keep up with all of this, and I'm sure you guys don't either. So, but this one here, I just wanted to bring because it was just this just happened this morning, and I think that this is very important to the case. So everybody know about the ex parte meeting, and they requested for Judge Glanville to recuse himself. Well, he refused to recuse himself. First of all, he wasn't supposed to be the one to deny his recusal. It was supposed to go to another judge. He shouldn't be over his own recusal. So when Brian Steele, which is one of Young Thug's attorney, when he was the one that brought it up and said that he know they had an ex parte meeting, and so Judge Glanville got mad and he wanted to know who told him. So because of Brian Steele wouldn't tell Glanville who told him, he threatened to lock him up. Well, he did. He told him he was going to lock him up, but they had a hearing and it was dismissed. Well, it was overturned where still didn't have to go to jail. So he tried to hold him in contempt of court because of the fact that he wouldn't tell on whoever it was. So he ain't snitching, you know what I'm saying? But Glanville was pissed off about it, and Glanville didn't want to tell them what happened. Well, it finally went to another judge for the recusal, and they did indeed recuse Judge Glanville from the case. So this new judge, I believe her name is Whitaker, Judge Whitaker, but I'm not sure because they had another judge come in first, and she recused herself. She gave her reasons of why her recusal, so she never did even interact with them. It was something I don't know about what it was, but she gave her reasoning, and the documents are after. Y'all can look at it on YouTube. Pam Esquire did some coverage on it. Dennis Byron did some coverage on it. Megan Cuniff did some coverage on it. So if you guys want to look it up, and this channel I watch is called Cuff Boys. He did some coverage on it. So if you guys want like all of the details, definitely Megan Cuniff, definitely Dennis Byron, and definitely Cuff Boys been following the trial from day one. Pam just been covering some of it, like she covered the recusals, and then like the documents that came after that. That was about it. But yeah, so they finally released the transcripts of the ex parte meeting, and this judge told them they had last week to put in all of their motions, and she was gonna, see what was going on with the motion. They were gonna move from there. Well, they was hoping to restart the trial by Monday on the 26th. I mean, not on the 26th, on this past Monday. I believe that was the 29th. But unfortunately, they wasn't able to. So right now, they're still in here. They talking and they're trying to decide what's going on. So this is the bomb. This is the what happened today, and the reason that I am doing this video. This judge here last night sent the defense attorneys a partial transcript from another secret ex parte meeting that Judge Glanville had with the DA prosecutors Love and DA Hilton. OMG. So they had only found out about the one that was on June 10th, and that's why they sent in the recusal to get him removed. Not one time did the DA or Judge Glanville or anyone else in that matter say, oh, well, we had another secret ex parte meeting before this one. This one occurred on June 7th. Wow. So that was that Friday before. So that was the Friday when Woody first got on the stand and when they first locked him up. So they had an ex parte meeting that day, and then they turned around and had another ex parte meeting on June 10th, that Monday morning, before they restarted the trial after they locked him up for the weekend. OMG. So yes, the judge gave them that information, and when I tell you the defense, they are hot. They hot. One, because Judge Glanville never did even tell them about it. So when they put in the request for his recusal, it was because of June 10th. So now they wanted to go back to June 7th. And then again, the DA, they said nothing about it. And then she had the audacity, the judge, not the judge had the audacity. The DA had the audacity. The judge asked them to remain professional. She said she knows it's a lot going on, but, she asked them to, control their tempers, remain professional. They're going to get through this. So DA Love, she going to stand her butt up, and she wants to add on to that. Thank you for saying that, because we all need to be professional. Girl, she got some audacity, because she sat here and she acts like a child during the trial, because Glanville let them do whatever they wanted to do. She was up there like, all shaking her head, like all these gestures and facial expressions, and she was grabbing the mic. Her and Hilton was fighting over the mic because she was trying to say something and Hilton was trying to stop her. Like, oh my God, it was just so much, y'all. I'm crunk. I'm talking loud and fast about it, but it was just going down. I was like, this is the most ghetto, ratchetest court I've ever seen. When I tell you those DA prosecutors, oh my God, how did they get their job? Like, OMG. I know sometimes I'm inarticulate. I don't say everything, properly. I do when it comes to it. If I was an attorney and I was in there and I know I need to speak properly and articulate my words, then I'm gonna say that. On YouTube, hey, I can say what I want to say, how I want to say it, whatever. But when I'm working and I'm in the work field, then yes, I'm gonna be professional at all times. You know what I'm saying? They are not professional at all. Even Judge Glanville wasn't professional. Like it was just too much. And at this point, if this was anybody else, this case would have been dismissed as a mistrial, and it needs to be dismissed as a pretrial with prejudice, so they can't bring it forth, because this trial has gone on so long, and I feel so bad for the jury. Like, the jury has been there since forever. They had to go through jury duty first, then they had to wait for them to start the trial, then they started the trial. They keep having these breaks and breaks and breaks and breaks and breaks and breaks because of all of this corruption that's going on. If this was anybody else other than YSL, this case would have been thrown out soon as this judge got on the stand. So she said, y'all gonna hear it because I'm gonna play it too. She said that she's gonna get the rest of the records, the rest of the transcripts for the ex parte that happened, the one that they didn't know about until today, and the DA failed to bring it up. She said she's gonna get the defense attorneys the rest of the ex parte transcript, and they gonna go from there. And she was like, if they end up having to do a mistrial, then they will. If they can resume the trial, then they will. But I'm thinking she's gonna grant a mistrial. She should. She really should. This trial should be thrown out. And again, it's child, and then they want you to vote for Kamala because she's black. Like, I'm not gonna vote for nobody just because they black. I'm gonna vote for what's right. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you black don't mean anything. Look at these black attorneys doing all this corruption against these black defense. I'm not saying the defense is wrong. I'm not saying they right, because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I don't have all of the facts and all of the details, but they're corrupt themselves. The DA is corrupt. Like, so it doesn't matter when you got your own people against you. It doesn't matter. And you know what? I'm gonna stop there because I don't even want to go into that, because baby, y'all probably can't handle that from me, because but what I'm saying is, your race doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just because somebody of your same race is running for office or something, it doesn't mean that you vote for them because of their race. You vote for what's right, who is doing right by the people, who is doing right by the judicial system, who is doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. It has nothing to do with their race. It has nothing to do with their gender. Put the right people in offices. So for all the people that's telling people to vote for Kamala because she black, please stop it. And that shenanigan look, what they had yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday or day before yesterday, where she was in Atlanta. Oh my God, that was so embarrassing. Like, I love me some Megan Thee Stallion, I do, and can't nobody make me hate her, but she should have passed up on that. They had Megan Thee Stallion and her dancers to come up there to Kamala's rally, and they was twerking. Megan had on a pantsuit. Her dancers had on a skirt suit. And they twerking with skirts on. I know, yes, sometimes they be half naked anyway. They have on their little swimsuit things or whatever. Okay, I get it. But they at a concert. It's a time and a place for everything. But to be dancing like that with a skirt on? OMG. Okay, look, I'm off subject. Let me quit. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? They try to pander to black people. Okay, anyway, I'm off task. I'm off topic. I get passionate about stuff, y'all. So I'm not supposed to be talking about this. I said I wasn't gonna bring that to my channel, so it is what it is. But y'all got my point. But back to this trial. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this trial so y'all can see. It's not the full thing, but it's like, it's not a trial right now. It's them having their meetings, discussing what they're gonna do, see if the trial is gonna move forward or if they're gonna end up doing a mistrial. And I hope they do a mistrial, because it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't want people that's guilty of crimes to get away with stuff or whatever, but Who's the guilty party here? Is it the prosecution or is it the defense? Because the prosecution is definitely guilty. They're committing crimes as well. They should be charged for what they're doing. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. Sorry that I rambled and got off topic.
A transcript that was a transcript of an ex parte meeting that occurred on Friday.
Right. This is the
before
one.
the Monday.
Sorry, just so that we're clear for the record purposes. This is the transcript I gave y'all at the end of yesterday that reflects Ms. Love had said, oh, yeah, we had, and in court on the record, but ex parte discussion that led to the Monday, June 10th ex parte. So that's what you're talking about?
Be more artful, yes.
Okay.
We were made aware, leading to the recusal of Judge Glanville, that there was an ex parte meeting that occurred on June 10th, Monday, June 10th. We were not told by the state, we're not told by the judge that had occurred. We found out about it, luckily, and by happenstance. We then demanded a transcript. We complained about said ex parte, inappropriate ex parte meeting. At no point, when the court finally acknowledged that there was an ex parte meeting that occurred on Monday, June 10th, at no point did the court or the state at that point acknowledge, oh, by the way, there was another ex parte meeting that occurred on June 7th. We sat there after finding out about one ex parte meeting and having to drag the truth out. We sat there and the state and their co-conspirator, the trial court, were silent about the first ex parte meeting that happened on June 7th. What happened in that meeting on June 7th? The state went in and disparaged defense counsel. The state, with no one else there, trashed a fellow member of the bar, Mr. Melnick, trashed another fellow member of the bar, Caleb Bumpus, presumed the guilt of all these individuals, including my client, Shannon Stillwell, and all but accused myself and Mr. Steele of being co-conspirators in this YSL enterprise. And the judge agreed. And the judge said in this ex parte meeting, yes, I've observed these things. The judge presumed the guilt of all the defendants. The judge presumed the guilt of myself and co-counsel, Mr. Steele. And all this, people have been saying to me throughout this whole trial, why does Judge Glanville have it out for you? And it never made sense. And I don't assume bad motives of anyone. Why did Judge Glanville, when you did nothing wrong, try to throw you in jail? Accuse you of cussing him out in open court when you didn't do anything? Why does he always yell at you, tell you to sit down and be quiet? Why does he cut you off at every opportunity? Why did he try to throw Brian Steele in jail for 20 days for doing what was right? And I didn't have an answer. And then yesterday I received, and I appreciate that, Judge. I appreciate someone finally being open about what's going on here. And I received a transcript. And in that transcript, the trial judge, who's not only assuming the guilt of my client, but is assuming the guilt of me and my friend, Mr. Steele. This is gross. This is disgusting. But it's all starting to make sense. It clicked when I read that transcript last night. This is not okay. Nothing about this is okay. These gentlemen have a right to a fair and impartial judge. And I appreciate the fact that you are going to be a fair and impartial judge. But the reality, Judge, is that they don't have a right to a fair and impartial judge starting on witness 76 of a trial after 9 months or whatever it is. They have the right to a fair and impartial judge from the beginning. And this is absolutely gross and disgusting. And the bottom line is, There's a lot more discussions that need to be had about this. But the bottom line is, if you ask me, do we need to revisit the rulings of the judge who sits in chambers secretly and talks to the other side and says, yes, I've been observing this. I've been observing this about what's going on in the trial. The judge that says, not only I'm going to meet with you on Friday and on Monday, but if we need to talk during the weekend, yeah, we can do that. The judge that suggests handing Mr. Copeland a list of questions. Do we need to revisit those rulings? Absolutely, we need to revisit those rulings. We need to revisit everything. This is broken, and it's not okay. It's not okay. It's offensive, and it's not your fault, Judge. You didn't do this. I'm not trying to raise my voice at you. I'm heated right now.
I can tell.
My steam's been coming off my bald head all night. Nothing about this is okay. Yes, we need to revisit everything. That's my stance.
Okay, thank you. And I think that I understand you being upset, and I understand why you and probably some of your fellow defense counsel on this side of the room are upset. I do not think that everything you said is a fair characterization of what that June 7th transcript reflects. But once we have the official copy, that'll be made a part of the record, and that will show what actually happened, what actually was said. As to any kind of legal error that may have been made with regard to rulings prior to Mr. Copeland's testimony, assuming this case goes forward and assuming there is any kind of conviction, I then assumed that there will be a motion for new trial phase, which at that point I can appropriately revisit things, and then potentially an appeal, at which point those things can be raised. I am considering and reading what y'all gave me yesterday to make a ruling on the substantive matters of that ex parte, and I can consider the June 7th ex parte as well, because I suspect y'all will ask me to do that. And if I determine that that is such, that there was coercion that is unconstitutional or structural error, then I will grant a mistrial. If not, then the case will move forward and we can consider again all of the evidentiary rulings with regard to the videos and audios that might be used with Mr. Copeland, because that's the witness that we are on the stand with right now. I would, and I know this is hard to do, but I would like for everybody to try to take some deep breaths and move forward professionally. A lot of what y'all are talking about doesn't make it any easier, but it happened a month ago. I know tempers flared all around, but we need to move forward with this in whatever way it's going to move forward in a calm and professional manner, okay? So then with regard to what we need to do evidentially, I guess I will need to hear from the state as to what y'all think it's very likely for you to be using while you're examining Mr. Copeland, and then I will entertain evidentiary objections, responses, and we'll consider what's coming in.
Thank you, Your Honor. And we're getting that ready as we speak to present to the court. And I'd also like to thank Your Honor for the reminder regarding professionalism. I was going to ask that the court require that we all adhere to that. Being called co-conspirators is not something that I would expect to have heard, no more than I would expect to level a assertion that Mr. Sharp is a defendant. So I'd ask that that all sides be required to adhere to the court's admonition.
Okay, well, again, the transcript will reflect what was actually said in there, and there are some allegations that if I were an attorney and it were leveled against me, I mean, I am an attorney, but you know what I mean, practicing in a case, I would be a little hot under the collar as well. Y'all had potentially legitimate concerns. I don't honestly at this point right now need to rehash all of that. But the reminder is to everybody, okay? And I mean, I've said it, so let's act accordingly.
Ron,
Yes, sir.
I can address the court briefly. I filed a supplement to the Mr. Kendrick's motion for a mistrial this morning. I just want to make sure the court's aware of it.
I am aware of it. I have not yet had a chance to look at it, but that's got it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mostly I want to make sure I bring it to the court's attention because, again, and I've followed the request of the court to not argue what's already in the papers, but I just want to make sure that the court understands that based on this additional information that we learned about the July 7th meeting, that my client has been consistently denied his right to a fair tribunal. It's been a due process violation. I, like Mr. Short, am extremely upset having read that transcript. Myself and my fellow outside agitators over here, I assume that they are upset as well. And
Honestly, I don't think that reference was to anybody who is a member of the bar. I think that there have been times in this case where members of the public are in the courtroom, which they are, of course, entitled to be, but communicating in ways that are not appropriate.
well, you know, the problem, Your Honor, is that since this was an ex parte meeting that should probably have never taken place, you were not there, I was not there, my fellow outside agitators weren't there, we don't have a video of it, so I have no idea specifically if that was not referred to us.
Exactly.
And we don't know, do we? We don't know. And what I do know is that
real.
What I do know is that I have been arguing with people for 18 months that Chief Judge Glanville was doing his best, that he was trying to rule to the best of his ability based on the evidence and the law before him, and now I have been made to look like an idiot. So
well,
I do not believe that this trial should continue, Your Honor.
I understand. Thank you. I'll take your supplement under consideration. Like I say, I haven't, obviously you just filed it and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I will.
22. When another terabyte or so tranche of discovery was produced to us, I begged Chief Judge Glanville to put a hard deadline on the discovery being produced from the state. He refused to do so. And you know what Judge Glanville's response to me was when I will tell you. I will tell you what his response was. If this was a civil trial, I would keep this out. But since this is a criminal trial coming in, if this was a civil trial, if it was about money, I would keep it out. But since it's only about Mr. Kendrick's life, that last part obviously wasn't in there. But if this is a civil trial, I would keep it out. I've been a civil litigator for 25 years. I agree that if it was a civil trial, it would be kept out. What I'm shocked by, and I'm new to criminal, what I'm shocked by is that the standard would not be higher in a criminal trial. But what did I say to people? Chief Judge Glanville is doing his best. He is doing his best. And now, again, I don't even know what to say to my client, Your Honor.
All right. Well, you know.
What do I say?
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what to say right now either. But I think that, while again, I understand frustration, you know, let's be careful about disparaging a respected judge. I do think that he has, and I haven't looked at every transcript yet because they haven't all been produced yet, but I don't think you're wrong that he has been trying his best and doing his best. And,
He hasn't been doing his best or
we all
trying.
as lawyers know that everybody talks about lawyers trying to herd cats, and that's not inaccurate. This is a big case. There are a lot of good litigators on this case, but with a lot of good litigators probably comes a lot of egos as well. And I think sometimes it is possible to sort of get so enamored of your position and of winning a point that you are focused more on that than on backing down and taking a breath and being
Her hair is pretty.
amenable to hear what the other side is saying. And hell, that's true in our whole society right now. I should have said hell, but y'all, I mean,
This judge sound like she from Texas. Y'all.
Those were Chief Judge Glanville's words. If this was a civil trial.
well, I don't know why it was. I don't know what evidence you were talking about. I'm sure there have been evidentiary rulings that.
All right, you guys. So we're gonna end it there. So, yeah, y'all heard what they said. This judge trips me out. I like her personality. She sound like she from Texas. You know, I know y'all can tell I'm from Texas by the way I talk, but she sound like she from Texas too. She sound like a country lady. She talking about y'all. She said a lot of stuff country, but yeah, they really need to dismiss this trial. The only reason why I say with prejudice, where they can't come back and charge them. I'm not saying allow criminals to get away with anything. Again, we don't know. We don't have all the facts, and I'm not gonna give my opinion on what I heard because again, I didn't hear all of the facts. But if this was anybody else, this would have been dismissed with prejudice, where they wouldn't be able to bring it back because of, look at all the time and money that has been invested in this. These juries have missed work. I mean, they've been going to court. They've been in trial for months. I think I heard them say like 9 months. Like, that's crazy. 9 months. These people missing work. The state, the people that live there is paying for this trial. Like, this is just too much. This is too much. And for it to have to start all over because of a judge and the DA was being corrupt, that's their fault. You know what I'm saying? That's their fault. They should have ran this trial according to the judicial system, and they should have did it in fairness. I feel like it should be a mistrial because they're not being given a fair impartial trial. It's like y'all already assuming their guilt, you know what I'm saying? And the judge is already siding with the DA. You know, the judge instructs the jury, you know, so they're going to listen to what the judge say. And it's just, this trial is so corrupt. Like, they doing any and everything to bring them down. And I feel like if you had the evidence to bring them down, you shouldn't have to be corrupt with it. You should be able to present the evidence, and you should be able to get a conviction off of it. Look at me to my eviction. I'm thinking about myself. Anyway, it's not funny. But they should be able to get a conviction off of their evidence. Apparently, they don't have the evidence. And then your star witness, which was Kenneth Copeland, Woody, he told y'all he did it. So how y'all charging YSL? And this man already told y'all he did it. Like, make it make sense. Hey, okay, y'all. I'm sorry, cause I'm showing my true. I could be professional, but I can get ratchet at times too. It's okay for me to do it on YouTube, but not in court like how they doing. Like that. That's crazy. They not even being ratchet. They just being ghetto. I ain't ghetto. I can be ratchet at time. I can be hood at time, but to be ghetto like how they doing in court, like, that's just unacceptable. Especially Miss Love Hilton. She was all right, but Love. Oh my God, if y'all can go back and watch some of those videos, the way she was turning all in her seat, jumping all up, baby, she was doing the most, and Glanville allowed it. So for her to get up there and try to say something about them being professional, like, ma'am, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay? Like, I don't even see how she in the position that she in, because yeah, she shouldn't be there. Not at all. How did she get there? But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell notification to all so that you never miss an upload. Love, peace, hair grease. Have a wonderfully blessed day.